Hey folks, sorry, I wasn't sure I was recording. All right, let's talk chapter 28. So chapter 28 is where, if you're not feeling intimidated right now, you might feel a little bit intimidated because you're going to see a lot of words that you will never see again outside of a biological context. So we have all these wacky names for, all these types of animals. So we're going to talk about invertebrates. Sorry, I lost my mouse there for a second. We're going to talk about invertebrates in chapter 28. But some of these invertebrates you're like never going to encounter again. So I just encourage you, spend some time reading about these if any of them interest you. They're really super cool, and we don't spend a lot of time on them in news or in pop culture. So with that little mini sermon over, let's talk about the different sections. So in section 28.1, we're going to talk about porifera, which are our sponges. They're barely they're barely organisms, really, but that's okay. They have a bunch of different body forms and body functions, and they are the simplest multicellular organisms that we have. Section 2, we're going to talk about cnidaria. The C is silent. And you're going to start comparing and contrasting different invertebrates. And cnidaria you might start to recognize. They're I believe the cnidaria are the jellyfish. I'm not actually looking at my notes right now, so I can't promise anything. But you'll start to recognize some critters out of cnidaria. In section 3, we're going to talk about the Lophotrochozoa, which are flatworms, rotifers, and nemertians. I never say these words out loud other than when I'm teaching you guys, so please forgive me. I've said them maybe 5 times more than you will. So you're, again, just going to compare and contrast, and you're going to kind of go through all these weird creatures. I love them so much. In the next one, we're going to stay in this superphylum Lophotrochozoa, and we're going to look at mollusks and annelids. Again, as we go through this chapter, things are going to start looking more and more familiar. So mollusks, you know what a mollusk is, right? And an annelid is a segmented worm. So we're going to talk about the cool things that these groups kind of started to evolve that the rest of us do have. In section 5, you're going to talk about the ecdysozoa. I do actually know how to say that. It's just hard to say. So those would be the nematodes and the tardigrades. So you're going to look at nematodes and tardigrades and C. elegans, which is an important research organism. You'll read a little bit about that. And then in section 6, we're going to talk about arthropods, which is my sweet spot because I study and love plant-insect interactions alongside forests and climate change and environmental justice. But arthropods are like your scorpions and your spiders and your bugs. So you're going to get a quick overview of all those systems. If you're super into bugs, there's an entomology class at Wright State that's amazing, and you should take it. In section 7, you're going to talk about the deuterostomes. And the deuterostomes are the echinoderms, and you're going to start learning about chordates as well, which will continue into the following chapter. So it's a big chapter. There's a lot of foreign words. Again, just write down stuff as you go, kind of get the top level picture. The test is going to cover all of these chapters, so realistically you'll only have a couple of questions for each chapter. And again, you can retake it if needed, so you shouldn't have a problem. All right, I will see you in the next chapter.